Hi guys, today we are going to be seeing the basics of Python. This is going to be a quick overview of the basics of Python. So in this we have a few topics. So first one would be the input output, then conditional statements, followed by loops, then operators, followed by functions, and data types. Okay. So first is the input and output. How we are going to be taking the input and how we are going to be giving out the output. In input, we have a function called input. Okay. This allows us to take the input from the user, and then you could specify a message. Okay, let me just show you. Enter input. What this is going to do is show an output on the screen called enter input, and then this is going to be taking the input. Next would be the output. To print something on the screen, you use a print statement. Print and followed by what you want to print. Okay, so this is the input and output. For printing, if you want to print something like uh, x equals some variable, okay, you want this to change. How are you going to do that? You could have a formatting called f string. Okay, for that, what you do is you write an f followed by opening brackets, print x equals to. Here you would be having a curly bracket and write the variable name, and then like this you could print that in this format. Okay, so this was about the input and output. Next is the conditional statement. Conditional statements are like conditions. If something is true, then do something else. So in this there are three types. One is simple if else, the other thing is nested if else, followed by ladder if else. In simple if else, it's really what the name says, simple. That is, you would be having an if condition. If this is uh, if this is true, then do this. Now, if this is not true, then do this. This is how the simple if works. Okay. In the nested if else, you have an if. If this is true, then go inside this. And if this condition is also true, only then do this. Else, again in here we might have another condition. If this is true, do this. Like this. This is called a nested if else. Now followed by a ladder. Right? You would be having if this is true, do this. Else, if in Python we write else if as elif. If this is true, do this. Else, do this. This is how we write the conditional statements in Python. And then you have to keep something in mind. Python uses indentation to know the blocks. Like as I said, if true. Now you are putting indents here. This indentation tells the Python that this code is inside this. Okay, so only if this condition is true, do this. This is how the code blocks work in Python. We use indentation to have differentiation of code. Now we completed this loops. Okay, there are three types of loops. One is a for loop, other is a while loop, and the other is do while. We don't usually use do while, so I'm not going to be explaining that. So for loop and while loop. The basic concept is like if you're going on a run, what while loop says, while you have energy, run. Okay, this is condition based. Okay, while you have energy, you go for a run. What for loop says, it is value based. While you did not complete 2 kilometers, run. Okay, or run for 2 kilometers. This is what the for loop says. So how do you write a for loop? You have the keyword for, and then you write the variable name, and in range from where to where you want this to run, and then you have your code here. This is the basic for loop. Similarly for the while condition true, run this code. Okay, this is how the while loop works. So these are the loops. Next we have operators. There are different types of operators like arithmetic, relational, assignment, then bitwise, logical, and a few more. Okay. In assignment, these are the basic operations like plus, minus, multiply, by, more. In relational operators, greater than, less than, equal to, not equal to. Okay. In assignment operator, we have this, and in bitwise operator, we have bitwise and, bitwise or, bitwise not like that. In logical, we have and, or. Okay. So these are the basic operators. In this logical, and what and says is, if this condition 1 is true, condition 2 is true, our output must be true. If condition 1 is true, condition 2 is false, our output will be false. If condition is 1 is false, output is another condition is true, output will be false. Now both the conditions are false, our output will be false. So if and only if both the conditions are true, our output will be true. If not, our output will be false. This is the truth table of AND. For OR, we have if condition 1 is true, condition 2 is false. Or if condition 1 is false, condition 2 is true. Or if condition 1 and condition 2 are true. For all this, our output will be true. Only and only if both the conditions are false, our output will be false. Okay, so these are the operators. Next are functions. Functions are pieces of code or code blocks that could be used over and over again. These help us modularize our code and improve the efficiency of coder and also the program. Okay, in Python you use the keyword def to write the function followed by function name and the arguments that you pass. Okay, what you have to also remember is there are two scopes in this in Python in programming language. One is the local scope and the global scope. You could either say these variables. So the local variables of scope is that which is inside the function, and you cannot use this outside the function. So these are said to be local to this function. Okay, and global scope is you have these variables globally outside the function. These can be used all throughout the program. These type of variables are called global variables. So if you want to have a local variable from the function come out or use that global local variable in the function anywhere outside, you have to use the word return. This returns that value which you store that in a variable, and then you can use that. And if you want to pass any variables that are not global variables, then you have to pass them in the arguments. Okay, so this is also about functions. And then data types. Okay, the basic data types are int, char, float, double, boolean, or bool. Okay, so int is the normal numbers like 1 2 3 4 like this. These are both positive and negative. Characters are the characters that you see on your keyboard like A, B, and so on. Floats are decimal numbers or numbers which have a decimal point. Okay, doubles are also floats, but they have a larger size than floats. Okay, bool is a true or false. These are the primitive types, but there are a few more other things. Okay, there are arrays, dictionaries, sets, linked list, stack, queue, double init queue, and a lot more. Okay, we will be seeing about these in another video, but this is the basics of Python or coding in Python. If you want to know more about this, I would also be putting links in the description from where you could check out each in detail. But all you need to know is the basics for you to be able to solve the problems while you're solving you would be acquiring the skills and the fundamentals as to what you have to do at each conditions. So I think this would be enough for you to start solving the questions that you see in this channel. With that, I conclude this video. Please stay tuned for the other video on the more data types. Thank you for watching.